Hello, authors, book lovers, and storytellers, and welcome to another exciting episode of Reader's Magnet featured author interview, where we dive deep into the world of creativity and inspiration. And once again, this is me, Rob, and I am your host for today. And our guest for today is the author of the book, The Pet Nanny. And right now, she's going to be talking about her latest creation, which is Pet Nanny 2. Libby goes to a new school, so please help me welcome Miss Leisa Braband. So, Lisa, how are you feeling today?
Great, and you?
Well, I'm doing good. Thank you very much for asking. Again, welcome to the Hive, Lisa, and it's good to have you back. And to all of our viewers right now to the live stream, we had an interview with Lisa talking about Pet Nanny 1, but right now we're talking about Pet Nanny 2, which just came out last December, if I recall it correctly. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah, so it
Only a month ago, or 2 months ago.
Only a month ago. So again,
I know the year's
Amazon.
gone by already.
I just couldn't think having this book and then right now we're having this new book, and there are a lot of things, but especially when it comes with sequels here. But you know what, Lisa, how about this? And to all of our viewers though, let's hear the story from the author itself. So Lisa, talking about this new this book though, Pet Nanny 2, what sparked the inspiration to create a sequel for the first book, The Pet Nanny?
The inspiration for Pet Nanny 1 was in another lifetime. When I retired, I lived in a condo building in downtown Chicago, which is the basis of where Libby lives in Pet Nanny 1. And I became a pet nanny because everyone that lived in the building seemed to have pets, and they were all working people. I was practically the only one that stayed home, and they needed help with their pets. So I kind of fell into the role. And the whole time I was being the pet nanny, I thought I could do this so much better if I was a 12-year-old girl, because I'd have more energy, I'd have more ability to bend and to run after the dogs and the cats. And if only I were 12 years old, I could be the best pet nanny ever. And that idea planted in my brain, and I was in a writing group, and we were sharing our stories. And so I was writing about being a pet nanny as a senior citizen. Oh. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to rewrite this whole thing, and it's going to be a 12-year-old girl. So that was the inspiration, rather.
Love that. And again, coming from this book, The Pet Nanny 1, and now we're talking about The Pet Nanny 2, which Libby, the main character of the story as well, is 13 years old, and she is now going to a new school. So talking about some expectations and what people can also see here, Lisa, are there any new characters or new pets that will be introduced within this book?
Well, absolutely. And just as an aside, the inspiration for The Pet Nanny 2 was merely to continue the story of The Pet Nanny, because The Pet Nanny 1 ended at the end of summer when she had spent 3 full months taking care of the pets. And now that she was going back to school, she kind of had to rethink the whole thing, because now she would have to make adequate time, of course, for school. That had to be a priority. Maybe not so much in her mind, but her parents' mind, that was an absolute. And so now I thought to myself, I could continue this story with a sequel where she goes to school and we see together what happens when she has to balance school with taking care of the pets in her business.
Oh, okay.
So by necessity, because she's going to school, of course she's going to have, we're going to have new characters, because she's going to make friends. She's going to have the teacher. The whole dynamic of a apartment building, if you've ever lived in one, means for every 10 people that leave the building, 10 new tenants come in and take over. So there's new people in the building, and of course that means new pets.
Oh, okay. So new characters, new pets as well. And now talking about, since Libby's going back to school, and again, it's not in her mind, as what you said, and it might be in her parents' mind, thinking about doing her business. So does Libby still continue her business while returning to school then?
She does, but it takes a couple different turns throughout the book. It'd be a spoiler alert to share those, but you can imagine that she had to do some changes in order to do it all.
And that's also, and I just want to say that is a nice perspective of thinking about, because again, it's a summer job, being a pet nanny, a child doing it just to get some extra, just to get some extra cash for them to spend over the summer, and now going back to school and trying to see things on how her iconic business can really work out though while she's going to school. And again, just to avoid spoilers, and to all of our people, if you want to know how she does it, you can always grab a copy of that book. And I'm not going to spoil it as well, because again, it where's the excitement in that if I really don't know how she juggles everything. But
Right.
so talking about her business here, Lisa, is there also is there anything, because again on her book though she visits places, so is there any more iconic businesses and restaurants in Chicago that Libby visits within this new book?
Absolutely.
Hmm.
So in Pet Nanny One, this is, I mean, she's lived in a suburb of Chicago all her life, but
Hmm.
if anybody out there is from Chicago, they know there's the suburban life and there's
Hmm.
the city life, and the
Yeah.
two usually don't mix. So when she moves to downtown Chicago, um, she discovers all kinds of places that she might have heard of, but now she gets to experience them firsthand.
Hmm.
One in particular is there's an iconic deli called Manny's Deli. It's a family run business. I think it's on its fourth or maybe even fifth generation now.
Okay.
And it's the best food ever. And so she discovers Manny's both in Pet Nanny 1 and continues to go to it in Pet Nanny 2. But now that her mother and father have resolved their issues in Pet Nanny 2, I guess that was a little bit of a spoiler alert.
Okay.
Um, Her father, who worked in downtown Chicago all his life, professional life, is so thrilled to take her and her mom to other places that are a little bit more expensive and upscale. And
Hmm.
so one of the funniest lines in the book is he takes them there for a special occasion. And then
Okay.
the next weekend, they're talking about where they should go out to eat. And she said she wants to go back to Gibson's Steakhouse, of course. And he's
Hmm.
like, you got a couple extra $100 in your wallet that I don't know about. So, because it is very pricey, but great. It's a great place to go. But one of the hopes I had in including these places in both books is to
Hmm.
inspire people maybe to visit Chicago that might have not been there before and experience the places firsthand, because it
Oh,
really is a great city.
love that, love that. And coming back with going back with the storytelling, talking about the places where Libby has been, and also trying to promote, if ever that if you will be visiting Chicago, at least you can also get a note and idea on where you can be going to these iconic businesses and restaurants in Chicago as a guide. So these restaurants and that placed in this book are basically an apples to apples when it comes with the presentation of the book as well. Am I correct about that, Lisa? Like
Correct.
these are the name. Oh, good. Love that. Love that. And talking about the business, talking about where she will be living in Chicago again. It's a different life, a different setup. So talking about her family as well. So is there anything new on the home front with your family then?
Okay, well, there's a big storyline
Oh.
that goes throughout the book from the beginning of Pet Nanny 2 to the end,
Hmm.
where Libby is clueless. But I drop little hints, and it has to do about the family dynamic, the family makeup,
Hmm.
and I drop hints throughout the book, and Libby's missing them all, just going over her head. And then in the last chapter, it's Christmas, and the secret is revealed. So I would love to hear from readers to see if they were clueless as well, or if I dropped enough hints that
Oh.
they figured it out and are like, Libby, what's wrong with you? You can't figure this out? How dumb are you? So, but I had fun doing it because honestly, when I was 12 years old, that would have been me. I would have been totally clueless.
And I also love that though. Also putting in a sense of mystery in the book, like not just about talking about looking at the main character from a third person's perspective, but also putting the readers into that pattern, like thinking and knowing, like, hey, this is making sense when it comes to it. Again, we're trying to avoid spoilers here because again, if you and again, I'll go to say this: if you guys want to know what we're talking about here, you better grab a copy of Pet Nanny 2, and that would be available. And don't worry, I'll be plugging where you can purchase these books just to make sure that you know where to get the full collection of Pet Nanny 1 and Pet Nanny 2. But talking about 1 and 2, because again, Lisa, we're talking about more about this book. Talk about Pet Nanny 2. So is this the end of the line of Pet Nanny 2, or is there a Pet Nanny 3 in the future that your readers will be expecting?
Well, just from what we've talked about, what do you think, Rob?
Well, for me, because again, if there's going to be after school, of course, there's going to be. There's just an idea that I have, though, but I believe that there's something that a lot of people will be expecting, especially that, okay, Pet Nanny 2 is going back to school, so there's going to be another event that but again it's always up to you, but that's what I'm thinking. Okay, that's the ideas that I have, because again, there's always a beautiful thing with the number 3, and hey, who knows, 4, 5, and 6. But just to answer your question, Lisa, let me ask the author itself, so is there going to be a Pet Nanny 3 that people will be expecting in the future then?
Well, you're on to something with your answer. I got to say, you're on the right track. And the same thing happened when I was writing Pet Nanny 2 that happened when I was writing Pet Nanny 1. I wrote Pet Nanny 1 intending to end it at the end of summer, and that was going to be it. And then I thought, I can't leave it hanging like that. We have to know what happens when she goes to school. So now Pet Nanny 2 ends with Christmas. She's only halfway through 8th grade. And now we need to finish the story, so to speak, and have her finish out the year and see what happens with the friendships she's made, the business and where it stands at the end of Christmas, and take it through the end of May when she graduates from 8th grade and is ready to go into high school.
Love that. And yeah, it's something else to look forward. And I am sensing that there's going to be, here, based on this though, I'm sensing there might be a little bit of drama and twists on the upcoming sequels, and that is going to be something that we can also look forward to. And you know what, Lisa, I just want to say this though, coming back with the book here again, talk about Pet Nanny 1, Pet Nanny 2, and again, I have also checked as well that there are a lot of good reviews talking about the book, talk about some feedback for them. But if there's one thing that, if ever there are some people who will be picking up your book, like they're going to be starting Pet Nanny 1 and Pet Nanny 2, is there any takeaway that you want your future readers to bring with them once you start reading these books?
I think that there's always hope, no matter what the challenge you're facing in life, what the adversity is, as long as you hang in there and just try to muffle through it, you're going to be able to do it, and things will always be better on the flip side. And that's what I hope the book conveys.
Love that very much, Lisa. And you know what? Again, to all of our viewers and book lovers, be sure to grab a copy of Leisa Braband's book. Again, that is Pet Nanny 1 and Pet Nanny 2, and they are available through Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and hear this, also on her website. That's www.authorleisabraband.com. Let me spell that out for you guys, just to make sure we got everything here. That's www.author, that's AUTHOR, Leisa Braband, spelled as her name, LeisaBraband.com. And you know what? As we come at the end of today's conversation, Lisa, I just want to say thank you very much for giving us a sneak peek on what your book is about and what people can be expecting, and also for future developments that might be happening. And also for all of our viewers, if you want to get some updates, you can always visit Lisa's website. There is a comment section down below, so you can try to get in touch, or you can know some updates on her book. But if I were you, before you try to anticipate the third book, grab books copies 1 and 2 so you can be on track with how Libby's going to deal with all of these hardships as well. And again, not to spoil anything, but I want you guys to spoil yourselves and grab copies and add it to your future books to read list. And you know what, Lisa, I just want to say again, thank you very much for joining us, and it has been a pleasure to be here and be part of a series that I'm also excited to announce though for future developments as well for your book. Thank you very much, Lisa.
Thank you, Rob. It's been great. Thank you.
Okay. And you know what? Again, to all of our viewers, thank you very much for tuning in. And again, as we always say here, again, please feel free to check it out though. Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and also through her website, authorleisabraband.com. And please remember, okay, and as what Lisa said earlier, she was thinking about ending it. But again, every ending is just a new beginning in the world of stories. May your reading adventures be endless and your imagination boundless. And as we say here at Reader's Magnet, we share your stories with the world. Thank you and have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye, Rob.